Hi! So this is my speaking part of activity 15 of advanced English. And alright, first of all, it says that we need to it says to work in group of 3, but we're in e-commerce, so we don't really get to work with a classmate. So I work all by myself. That's all my other activities, and I watched the video E2, and I took the items you hear. So I did hear that the mediator described the process, has each party speak in turns, prevent interruption, generates alternatives, encourages agreements, sets the ground rules, listens carefully, identifies the main issue, and imposes nothing. So the only thing that I did not hear, it was holds one-on-one meeting and gets the parties to sign an agreement. And I did watch the video again, and I discussed this question. So first question is, where was the meeting held by conference call? And it's because they were not being in the same place. Peter was in Birmingham, I think that's how you say it, and Suns was in Jena. And so how does Sue set up that meeting? It's the second question. So she starts by laying down all the ground rules and letting everybody explains their point of view and try to find a compromise between all the people that are in the conference. And how does she deals with aggressive behavior from the participants? Give examples. So she's pretty assertive. She's asking people in the meeting to participate, promising them to let them know, trying to prevent interruption, asking them to use strong language and not to make a specific or make judgment. So one of those examples would it be let's see. So yeah, when they were trying to interrupt each other, she will say, hey, I promise I'll get back to you. Let's just finish focusing on what this person's saying, and then we'll go back to you. And the next question is, what compromise does Emma suggest? And Emma suggests to help the Africans to find an alternative source of funding for the Educating Engineers project. And what 3 things did they agree to do at the end of the meeting? They will meet in London. It will suggest Emma's idea to the Africans, so they find another alternative source. And Sue will summarize everything that they agree in the meeting or by email. And the last question is if I think the conference call makes mediation more difficult or easier, and why. And I think it's both. Easier because we have a better system or people communicating their ideas and at the same time. It's more difficult because you cannot see people's reaction. So maybe they don't have a camera on, maybe the video is kind of late and you don't really know how they're reacting. Or even if they're not reacting with their face, they can be reacting with their hands and blah blah blah. But it could be easier just kind of to know that when people stalking and something like that. I don't know. And so I complete after that answering those questions, I complete the phrases from the video. And so I'm just gonna read the complete sentences already. So they say, let's stay positive, please, Ed. Tell us about the benefits rather than the negatives, okay? And I would like to talk this through together. Let's leave judgment aside for the moment, all right? Can you be more specific? Let's not get too aggressive. And following activity 11, it says that we need to read the information corresponding to your letter. And again, it is to work in group of 3 or more. And trying to simulate a conference call. So the speaker A, it's gonna be a mediator, and it's gonna be speaker B and C, it's those people that they're having that argument. And when we're finished, we're gonna checklist the page 132 to help how you did it as a mediator. And of course, I decided to be the mediator. So that's speaker number A. And it says, just give me 1 second. So it's basically you saying us that we need to act like a mediator, but it's kind of hard not having other people to discuss this with. So in the page that they told us to go look, so we're looking into a scenario D. Well, in the meeting, they lead a meeting with speaker B to explain one of the following proposed change: moving the office to a new location, outsourcing production to a low-cost country, a 4-day week in return for a salary reduction of 15%, your own idea. Explain your proposals and try to get a commitment to support the change from the other participants. And from the meeting too, you have to listen to B's proposal, ask any questions, and raise any objection you can think of. So I'm the speaker aide, so moving to the office to a new location, I'm gonna explain that it could be cheaper. It could be closer to where we're getting our products or where we're sending our products, so that's gonna reduce our costs. And at sourcing production, it's gonna be, of course, a low cost, making the product that we're already selling, and so that's gonna make them sell more. And if we're having some kind of commissions based on the sales, they will gonna get more because we're having more March, if that makes any sense. And a 4-day week in return for a salary reduction. So I don't really know how to explain that, because that will get me mad too, because I don't mind working only 4 days, but having a reduction in my salary of 15%, it's kind of bad. So you will need to explain them very good what you're taking away from there and what are you giving them back. And so your own idea, why were you doing this, because maybe that company is not doing super good, and just try to get them to understand it. And so the ground ideas are gonna be ground rules. It's just to let everybody speak and have their own opinions and be able to transmit that to us and as a conference rule. And so we get each party to speak in their own turn. So we do need to listen carefully and prevent interruptions. We already planned the main issues. We're generating alternatives, and if it's necessary, we're gonna have a one-on-one meeting where we get to talk with every single one and kind of be more private, and they can tell us how they're feeling about it and all of that. And that's pretty much what it says. I don't really know if I did it all right, if it was what I was supposed to do, but it's pretty hard, as I say at the beginning, just not being able to do it with 2 more classmates and actually having the mediation or the argument, the conference call. But that's what I got for my speaking part this Thursday, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.